Yeah. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, call Loyum Yahweh Basham, Yahweh Shai Basham, Brakah Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well. Salutations to the Akim and the Four Winds, preaching the truth of sincerity, the hopeful elect, right? To the Israelite foreigners whose phenotype may look like another nation, but your bloodline goes back to Israel. Shalom, repent, come back to the fold, Lord willing. To the sister Akwaf listening and learning, Shalom. This your brother Ram Yahawada with the lesson. I seen the brother SC, right? And he did his lesson on this. I seen it, so I went ahead and jumped on it. And, you know, Juvenile and Mannie Fresh is being wicked, saying max that self up. So, you know, all right.
You finna online day chat, find a mate chat, open up the okay ass, profile picture looking tight chat, nice chat, got your bio reading right chat, precise chat, but before you find a date chat, you gotta wait chat, gotta go back to Nate chat, get it straight chat, girl you look good, want you fax that thing up, you's a handsome young brother, want you fax that thing up, dating real life, you need to fax that thing up, feeling freaky all night, you need to fax that thing up, girl you look good, want you fax that thing up, you's a handsome young brother, want you fax that thing up, dating in real life, you need to vax that thing up. Feeling freaky all night, you need to vax that thing up. I know you can't stand it, no holding hands chick. But when we get the shot, we gon' be romancing. Girl, you can be the queen after quarantine. We can meet up at the spot and we can do the thing. Internet date chat, I'm your mate chat. Download the app, shawty, you ain't gotta wait chat. I love it when you hold me, eggplant emoji. You could be the young hottie thing, I'll be the OG. Girl, you look good, want you vax that thing up. You's a handsome young brother, want you vax that thing up. Dating real life, you need to vax that thing up. Feeling freaky all night, you need to vax that thing up. Girl, you look good, want you vax that thing up. You's a decent looking brother, want you vax that thing up. Acting full of speed, you need to vax that thing up. Herd immunity when you vax that thing up. If you wanna get sticky and hot, go get the shot. If you wanna smash some dude named Scott, go get the shot. Now go get the shot, go get the shot. BLK says go get the shot. You wanna smash with Scott, smash with Scott. BLK says go get the shot.
Yeah, and then the brother even was showing how basically Mannie Fresh is throwing up the, that thing to let the elites know that he's with them, right? Because most people think that's a cool thing, or it's, it represents Texas or something like that. But this guy's not from Texas, so why is he? Why would he be doing that? You know what I mean? Right? You can go back to seeing all those presidents, and they're basically throwing up the same thing, right? So, you know, goes into that whole, the people, the shadow government, basically, and he letting them know that he's part of that. He's with the business of Satan. Daniel chapter 1 verse 1. In the 3 years of the reign of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, right? Which America is synonymous with Babylon, or it is the daughter of Babylon, or the whore, the harlot, right? Right? Of Babylon, right? As America, unto Jerusalem, and besieged it. And the Lord gave Jehoiakim, king of Judah, into his hand, right? Which the Lord allowed Judah to be conquered, right? With part of the vessels of the house of Yahweh, which he carried into the land of Shinar to the house of his God, right? Unto some false God that don't even exist. All right. And he brought the vessels into the treasure house of his God. And that's crazy. That's why the Lord said he allowed his name to be polluted. Wow. Uh, wow. And the king spake unto As Ashpenaz, the master of his eunuchs, that he should bring certain, right. This is going into like Mannie Fresh, Juvenile and all these other celebrities that they're gonna bring and place before you, because this is what they're basically doing. They're trying to get the best, the talented, the stars, the bright ones, the smart ones. They're trying to get all these people who have some type of influence to be like a figurehead of influence to you so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, to get you to do that thing that you're not, right? And yes, certain of the children of Israel and of the king's seed, right, which means his children, and of the princes' children, in whom were no blemish, but well favored, right? And that's really what they're doing. They're using these well favored stars to bring you into committing sin, right? And skillful, whether it's what rap, R&B, actors, actresses, skillful in all wisdom and cunning in knowledge and understanding science, and such as have ability, right? All whatever kind of ability, playing basketball, football, whatever ability, UFC fighter, all those that have those abilities in them that stand in them to stand in the king's palace, and whom they might teach the language of the tongue of the Chaldeans, right? And that's basically ultimately like what they're doing, unset wickedness is basically in a sense it's teaching you to have the tongue, because they're speaking Esau's agenda. That's basically like speaking their language, right? You don't have to actually speak another language. You could actually be doing what a person wants you to do, right? You've seen that in movies, or heard, things. And now you're speaking my language. Somebody throw some money down, and when the person throws the money down, you say, "Oh, now you're speaking my language." It's not that you're speaking some some type of whatever language. It's just it's what you want. It's your agenda. It's what your desire is. So you're there. Mannie Fresh is speaking. Mannie Fresh and Juvenile speaking the desires of Esau right now, right? Their language, and the king appointed them daily provision, right? And that's what they're doing. They're getting paid. That's provision, right? Provision, getting paid that you can eat, daily provision, of the king's meat and wine, right? And well, wine goes into philosophy, but also you know, Esau's philosophy, but also goes into what some type of sense of joy, right? You got the wine, you chilling, you know you you know you pouring out a little for the homies, like a backyard boogie. Everybody you love and everybody you ever kick it with, and just what I mean, and y'all chilling. You got that wine, that joy. A payday, right? Well, a payday to lead your people down the wrong world. You know what I mean? Blind leaders of the blind, right? And they both shall fall into a ditch, right? Since you got paid from your provision from the king's meat, and the wine which he drank, so nourished them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king. So what he set it up that so Daniel and it was it says now among these were the children of Judah, Daniel, Hannah, Mishael, and Azariah, right? So he presented these Israelite children who would have said that didn't have blemish, that was well favored, who was smart, intelligent, and had what abilities to do whatever, some type of talent, some type of things, something to get you to be to look up to them, right? In a wicked, and to follow their agenda. So this is things that Babylon has always done. So I'm just going to skip down here to 9. Now, Yahweh had brought Daniel into favor, right? And this is, a thing that the Lord do, because he knew that he was going to put the children of Israel into slavery. But Daniel, the Lord had a special place for Daniel in his heart. And so he wanted to make sure that Daniel was going to be, good, what I mean? So he made where Daniel was what? Well favored and tender love, which the prince of with the prince of the eunuchs, right? So, there's ways that the Lord can make sure that you're favored, or you're in, you're kind of you're where you need to be, but you're not where you need to be to sell out. But in this day and age, there's no way that you could be in a certain without selling out. So the only place to be is on, well, the Lord told Daniel that where he had the Lord told Daniel where he was going to put him. It says Daniel chapter 12 verse 13, but go thus thy way till the end be, for thus shall rest, right, which means die, and stand in thy lot at the last day, which means what? Reincarnation or regeneration, however they want to reframe it or take it or whatever. It don't matter. Daniel was here today prophesying in the highways and the byways, and the only place to be in the right place right now is to be, part of the men of the Lord, and preferably, you got the right doctrine from the Apostle Tahar on down, right? Lord willing, So Babylon fell, and then the Medo-Persian Empire arose. It pleased Darius, right, which was part of the Persian Mede Empire, to set over the kingdom and 120 princes, which should be over the whole kingdom, and over these 3 presidents. So there was 3 presidents that this guy set up, of whom Daniel, right, which is the Israelite, which is from the tribe of Judah, right, was first. He was the first president under this heathen nation's, kind of like what they basically was doing with Barack Obama. Like, you really felt like you made it, and you were finally going to be accepted, right, because of Barack Obama. Which, I mean, at one time we thought that, though. If you wasn't in the truth at that time, you really thought, like, dang, maybe some things can actually change. But once you wake up to the truth, you know that was never going to happen. You know what I mean? And this is proof right here that it's happened before. Even though Barack Hussein Obama is not a Israelite, they portrayed him to be an Israelite to give you that notion, that feeling that I made it. We did. People were crying. They was all emotional. They was dancing, right? That the prince might give account unto them, and the king should have no damage, right? So this is what he decided to do. Have these other lower people, like, it'd be like governors or whatever, right? And then you got a president. And of the 3 presidents, Daniel was one of them. So it shows you that they put these figureheads ahead in a way so you could feel like you made it, so you could get accepted into the so-called status quo. But we cannot be swayed by songs and gimmicks, and just because these people used to be our favorite, musician or artist or actor or actress, you know what I mean, to sin against the Lord. Yeah, this is second Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 18. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an elder man of a well-favored countenance, because what he has this favor with these goddamn Edomites, right? Right, because this is under the Roman captivity now, right? And under the Greek captivity, Salakia. Was constraint, right? He's fighting them. Constraint to open his mouth. They were trying to hold him down. And to eat swine's flesh. And see, what you call them is basically, they not constrained. They're taking on whatever Esau give them. That's why they want to do this little song. You know what I mean? Go ahead and, max yourself up, right? But he chose rather to die glorious, man. And instead of eating swine, or instead of eating whatever Esau gives you in this world, you should be rather to die glorious than to live stained with such an abominable, spit it forth, and came of his own accord to the torment. Like, man, let me come on. I'm ready to die. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna stain me with the abominable, with this thing of this world, like thing that I don't need. Yeah, you know what I mean? It'd be rather glorious to die for what Yahweh Bashim Yahushai said to stand up for. Why? Because this thing is just it's just a dream. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, you're gonna be changed. Like, death is just sleep. So, you know what I mean? As it behooved them to come that are resolved to stand out against such things, right? Because they're supposed to kill you if you're not following what they're supposed to kill you. But this dude was well favored amongst these Edomites. He had, they liked the guy. So watch what they do. As are not lawful for love of life to be tasted, right? Right? It's better to die, man. Freak. We don't love life. If we gotta lay down if we gotta bow down to Baal, we don't love this life. We're not bowing down to Baal. You know what I mean? But they that had charge of that wicked feast. It's a wicked feast, and that's basically what Mannie Fresh and Juvenile is doing. You got paid, you got your money, the food that you eat. That's a wicked feast, because like when you get paid, one of the things you do, you take the family out to eat. That's a wicked feast, man. For the old acquaintance, because one of them was a friend with the guy. He was an acquaintance with them for quite some time. He had some liking to him, right? He had some favor to him. So for the old acquaintance, they had with the man taken him aside. The old man took him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat the flesh taken from. So to pretend. So go get the lawful flesh, but then present yourself in front of Israel as if this is lawful. So basically, that's what Mannie Fresh and Juvenile did. They presented this thing as if it was lawful for Israel, right? But look what this guy does. Taken from the king's sacrifice, taken from sacrifice commanded by the king, that in so doing he might be delivered from death. And for the old friendship, right? Because they thought dude was cool, so they trying like man, I don't want to kill a dude's cool, so let's not kill him because he don't want to eat them. Let's do it this way. Let's man, here, eat some good thing, but trick the rest of Israel to follow behind some nonsense, right? With them that found favor, right? They found favor with him, right? But he begot to consider this certainly, and as becoming his age and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereon was come and his most honest education, right? And Apostle the Heart and Apostle Gabar always said that education means to take that's within without And in the scripture it says, the Holy Spirit will stir up your remembrance, right? So that it will draw within that's without. So stirring up that the pure remembrance of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai from a child, right? Lead a child in the way he should go and he should not depart, or rather the holy law, make and given by God, by Yahweh. Therefore he answered accordingly and willed them straightly to send him to the grave. He said, "Hey, look, I'm not eating of your flesh, man. Just go ahead and kill me. Send me straight to the grave, because I'm not gonna eat your abominable food, nor am I gonna pretend that I ate your abominable food. For it becometh not our age, saith he, in any wise to disseminable, whereby many young persons," right? And this goes into Mannie Fresh, because I'm thinking, what is Mannie, like 50 something? He's 50 something, 55, 50. Yeah, I think he's like 55. The dude's up there now. I think even Juvenile's like, you know what I mean? So he's like, at this point, he's an elder man. But he wants to do something where it says, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar began fourscore years old and 10, right, which is 50, about 50 years old, right? Elder men were now gone to a strange religion. And that's what these dudes is doing. Really, that's a strange religion to make a song like that. That's strange. You know what I mean? And so they they thought mine hypocrites and desires to live hypocrite to live a little time and a moment longer, such be deceived by me, right? Just right. He's already, like he said, I'm already 50 years old. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to deceive the young people just so I can live a little bit longer, right? They got their whole lives ahead of them. Why would I deceive the young children? It doesn't make sense, right? Just to deliver yourself to live a little moment longer. And Salaki on the reading, and I should be delivered by me, deceived by me, and I gave a stain to my old age and made it abominable, right? So he said, why do this thing like this to the young people, and then you're staining your own name in front of Yahweh Shai and the angels and the Most High, man, doing such a thing. So with all that, I like to give all praises and all honor and all glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakal Kodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who were well. Salutations to the Akim in the four winds, preaching in truth and sincerity. To the Israelite foreigners who phenotype may look like another nation, but their bloodline goes back to Israel. Shalom. To the sister in Akwaf, listening and learning in silence. Death to America.